Okay, students, now we are going to discuss about identification of unknown carbohydrate with different sugars. So, we have earlier discussed about this chart and what are the different tests that are to be performed one by one when you are given an unknown compound. We'll discuss now. Okay. So, first thing, the moment we get an unknown substance or a powder, we have to prepare 1% or 2% solution of that powder, okay, in distilled water, and then start. The first test that we perform is Molish test. Okay, after performing Molish test, if we get a reddish violet ring at the junction of two liquid, the inference is that carbohydrate is present. The given unknown compound is a carbohydrate. Then we perform iodine test. Okay, if there is no color change, the compound may be a mono or a disaccharide. But if the color changes to blue or red, then it is a polysaccharide. Blue color is obtained with starch and red color is obtained with glycogen. If there is no color change after after adding iodine to the solution, then the compound is either a monosaccharide or a disaccharide. Okay, then the third test that we perform is Benedict's test. Okay, if you get a brick red color precipitate after performing Benedict's test, or even if you get a green or a yellow or an orange precipitate, the test is positive and the given carbohydrate is a reducing sugar. So it may be glucose or fructose or galactose or maltose or lactose if you get brick red color precipitate, or if Benedict's test is positive, the compound may be glucose, fructose, galactose, maltose or lactose. If the Benedict's test is negative, then the compound may be a non-reducing sugar. That means it may be sucrose. Okay. After that, we perform Barfoed's test. Okay, if you get a scanty red precipitate at the bottom of the test tube, then Barfoed's test is positive and compound is a monosaccharide sugar. It may be glucose, fructose, mannose or galactose. Okay, if you get a negative test, that means brick red precipitate is not obtained at the bottom of the tube, then the compound may be the compound is a disaccharide. It may be maltose or lactose or sucrose. Okay, then we perform Selivanov's test. Selivanov's test is given positive by sugars which contain ketonic group, okay, keto sugars. So if a cherry red color is obtained, then the sugar is a ketonic sugar and presence of fructose is confirmed. Glucose or galactose or mannose give negative Selivanov's test. Sucrose after hydrolysis gives the test positive. Right. Then what we have to perform? Osazone test. Osazone are crystals. So glucose forms glucosazone crystal, fructose forms fructosazone, like that. Maltose forms maltosazone crystals, like that. Okay, when we perform Osazone test, then glucose, fructose, mannose, all of them produce needle-shaped crystals. Right. Sunflower shaped crystals are produced by maltose or sunflower shaped crystals of maltosazone. Powder puff like or hedgehog like or cotton ball like crystals are produced by lactose. Lactosazone crystals are hedgehog shaped or cotton ball or powder puff like. Now, if when you perform Benedict's test and if the Benedict's test comes out to be negative, then the compound is a non-reducing sugar. It may be sucrose. So, for that we perform hydrolysis test. Okay, we first hydrolyze sucrose. We bring about acid hydrolysis of sucrose so that the two monosaccharide sugars present in it, that is glucose and fructose, get separated. And after hydrolysis, if it gives Benedict's test positive, if it gives Selivanov's test positive, then sucrose is confirmed. Okay. So, if your compound is glucose, then what are the results that are obtained? So, Molish test, when you perform Molish test, purple colored ring is obtained, okay, at the junction of the two liquids. So glucose carbohydrate is present. Benedict's test, brick red colored is precipitate is obtained, so it is a reducing sugar. Barfoed's test, when you perform, you get a red precipitate at the bottom of the tube, so the compound is a monosaccharide. When you perform Selivanov's test, it comes out to be negative, so it is an aldose sugar, it is not a ketonic sugar. Okay, that means it is glucose, because first of all it is aldehyde sugar that we confirm after Selivanov's Selivanov's test, and when you perform Barford's test, you get a red precipitate. That means it is a monosaccharide sugar. So it is glucose. The presence of glucose is confirmed. And when we perform Osazone test, you get yellow colored needle shaped crystals. So glucose, the presence of glucose is confirmed when we get all these reactions. Okay. The next is fructose. Okay. As far as if the compound is fructose, again Molish test will be positive. Reddish violet ring is obtained at the junction of the two liquid. So compound is a carbohydrate. Benedict's test is given positive. But here we do not get a brick red color precipitate. We get greenish yellow color precipitate. So compound is a reducing sugar. Barford's test is positive. That means fructose is a monosaccharide. Selivanov's test is positive. It is a ketonic sugar. So it gives Selivanov's test positive. And Osazone test, when you perform, again you get needle shaped crystals for fructose. If you perform for galactose, then Molish test again positive. So it's a carbohydrate. Benedict's test positive. It's a reducing sugar. Barford's test positive. So it's a monosaccharide. Selivanov's test negative. So it's not a ketohexose. Okay. And when you perform Osazone test, galactose forms rhombic plate shaped crystals. So that confirms the presence of galactose. Okay. So next, a disaccharide, maltose. If the compound is a disaccharide, then Barford's test will come out to be negative. So if you perform Molish test is positive, compound is a carbohydrate. Benedict's test, you get brick red color precipitate. That means it's a reducing sugar. When you perform Barford's test, you get the test negative. No red colored precipitate is obtained at the bottom of the tube when the sugar is boiled with Barford's reagent. That means compound is a disaccharide. Compound is not a monosaccharide. So if a compound is disaccharide, we do not perform Selivanov's test. We directly perform Osazone test. Okay, and look at the shape of the crystal. So here, if the sugar is maltose, you get sunflower shaped crystals. So if sunflower shaped crystals are obtained, compound is maltose. The presence of maltose is confirmed. Okay, next, if the compound is lactose, again when you perform Molish test will be positive because it's a carbohydrate. Benedict's test will be positive. You will get a brick red color precipitate because it's a reducing sugar. If you perform Barford's test, it will be negative because it's a disaccharide. And then you have to perform Osazone test. So if you get hedgehog shaped crystals or powder puff like crystals, it confirms the presence of lactose. As far as sucrose is concerned, when you perform Molish test, it will be positive because compound is a carbohydrate. Benedict's test will be negative. Any reducing test you perform, it will be negative. So no color change. It means that the compound is a non-reducing carbohydrate. Okay. Then when you perform Barford's test, okay, it will be negative because it's a disaccharide. Right. Now what you do is you perform hydrolysis. You hydrolyze the sucrose solution, add acid to it, boil it. After boiling, neutralize it and then perform Benedict's test. Then the Benedict's test will come out to be positive. Okay, after inversion. We call it inversion because then we separate the glucose and fructose. The hydrolytic products give positive reaction with Benedict's reagent and Barford's reagent. So after hydrolysis, you will get Benedict's test positive. That means the sucrose is made up of two reducing sugars. And Barford's test will be positive because now the disaccharide has been converted into two monosaccharide sugars. And then you perform Selivanov's test. Selivanov's test will come out to be positive because fructose is a part of sucrose. And when you perform Osazone test, you will get needle shaped crystals, okay, after hydrolysis. So this confirms the presence of sucrose. So that's all about how to identify the sugars and how to interpret the results. Okay, next time we will discuss about identification of proteins or identification of lipids. That's all, students.